From chained convict to Iron Warden of the Red Void. The first thing you notice is the smell. Not blood, not rust, not the recycled air coating your lungs like paint. It's the absence of smell. Earth had a smell. Rain on concrete, bread from a corner store, your mother's kitchen. Mars has nothing. A hollow, pressurized silence that tells your body something is fundamentally wrong. You are 38 million miles from home, and you are never going back. Your wrists are in magnetic cuffs. Your jumpsuit is the color of rust. Around you, 40 bodies shuffle through the decontamination corridor of Ares Penal Station 7. Nobody talks. Everyone stares at the floor. Because on day one, someone already told you the only rule that matters: keep your eyes down or lose them. You're about to spend 20 years climbing the most brutal, invisible ladder in human history. And at the very top, if you survive, you won't find freedom. You'll find a cage with better furniture. Level 1, the Ghost. Days 1 to 180. You are nobody. Your name is a 7-digit number stenciled on your neck. D449112. The guards don't say it. You are furniture. Replaceable. Invisible. Your cell is 4 meters by 2. The ceiling glows pale white for 14 hours and drops to black. No window. The only proof Mars is outside is the vibration of pressure regulators keeping the atmosphere from killing you in your sleep. You work the ore conveyor belts on sub-level 3, 8 hours a day. Red dust gets into everything: your nose, your teeth, your eyelids. 3 men on your line cough blood by month 2. They disappear one morning. Nobody asks where. Silence here is a language, and the first thing it says is, you don't matter. Survive. That's level 1. Just survive. Level 2, the Mule. Months 6 to 18. You learn the economy of this place, not money. Favors, rations, information. A second portion of protein paste is worth more than gold. Protection is the only currency that matters. You become a runner. A man named Sokov noticed you were fast, quiet, and stupid enough to say yes. You carry sealed containers, folded notes. Once a severed finger in a heat-sealed bag. You don't ask why. You are still nobody. But now you are a useful nobody. That's the difference between surviving and lasting. The guards know what you carry. Some are paid not to care. Corruption isn't a crack in the system. It is the system. Your lower back aches. The gravity compensation on sub-level 3 is calibrated wrong. 2 grams instead of 38 centimos. Some nights it feels like the planet is trying to push you into the floor. Level 3, the Debtor. Months 18 to 36. You owe Sokov. Every favor is a loan. The interest compounds. Small things at first. Watch this door. Count those guards. Hold this man's arms while you do it. You tell yourself you had no choice. Maybe that's just what people say when they choose the easier kind of wrong. Your hair falls out in clumps. A scar on your forearm from a conveyor gear healed wrong. You feel it every time the temperature drops, which on Mars is always. But something shifts. Cold and quiet. You stop dreaming about open sky. You start watching people, how they move, who they fear. You are mapping the invisible hierarchy, and for the first time, you are not at the very bottom. Level 4, the Enforcer. Years 3 to 6. Sokov is dead. You didn't kill him, but you knew it was coming. 3 days before it happened, you moved everything valuable to a new location. When they found him in the water reclamation unit, you were already absorbing his network, not because you planned it. Because you paid attention while everyone else stared at the floor. Now people come to you, 2 men beneath you. Then 4, then 9. Silence reads as power where everyone else is screaming for attention. You give orders in flat, low sentences. You don't threaten. You don't need to. Every decision has consequences. The consequences have faces. You see them at meals. Welcome to power. It doesn't feel like you thought it would. Level 5, the Lieutenant. Years 6 to 10. You control 3 cell blocks and take a cut from every transaction. You have real food now, smuggled vegetables from the agricultural dome. The first time you eat one, your eyes water. You tell yourself it's the flavor. It isn't. You have a reputation, which means enemies you've never met, which means one eye always open, which means you don't really sleep. You remember the exact moment you stopped keeping a moral ledger. A kid, 19 at most, skimmed from a delivery. You made an example. The system demanded it. Maybe it did. You move differently now. Slower. Deliberate. You take up space, and the room rearranges around you. That's level 5. Not happiness. Just mass. Gravitational pull. Level 6. The Architect. Years 10 to 15. You don't run Ares 7. Not officially. Warden Khrushchev does. But Khrushchev comes to you for information. His decisions align with your interests. His problems disappear before they become his. You are the invisible infrastructure. The real Warden has never been the one with the title. 4 guards watch your back. You know the supply manifests 6 weeks before it arrives. You have a doctor on retainer, in a Mars prison. That is the most obscene symbol of your power. But here's what they don't tell you. You are trapped. You could arrange a transfer, but if you leave, the architecture collapses. Everything is load-bearing. You are the keystone. Remove it, and the ceiling falls on everyone keeping you safe. The golden cage doesn't have bars. It has dependencies. Level 7, the Shadow Warden. Years 15 to 19. Khrushchev is gone. His replacement, Warden Osei, is younger, sharper, and does not come to you for anything. For the first time in a decade, you feel uncertain. It's worse than the cold of the recycled air, because it comes from inside. That forgetting made you soft in ways you didn't notice. 2 men in your inner circle are flipped by Osei's team. You neutralize the threat 3 days early. Neutralize. The word keeps the weight off. Barely. Then word arrives. Your mother died. Back on Earth. A Tuesday. Kidney failure. You cannot go, cannot call, cannot grieve, because grief is vulnerability, and vulnerability at level 7 is a death sentence. You sit in your cell and stare at the white ceiling for 6 hours. And the ceiling stares back. Level 8, the Iron Warden. Year 20. Officially, you are still inmate D4491112. Unofficially, Ares Penal Station 7 is your body and you are its nervous system. Nothing moves without your signal. You have outlasted 4 wardens, 2 riots, 1 dome breach, and 17 attempts on your life. You are the closest thing this rock has to a king. And here is what your kingdom looks like from the inside. 4 walls, recycled air, a ceiling that goes white for 14 hours and black for the rest, red dust in everything. The same ceiling you stared at on day 1. The throne and the cell were always the same room. You just couldn't see it from the bottom. The reckoning. It ends, as it always ends, not with a battle, with paperwork. A review board on Earth, a supply audit, 3 testimonies from names you thought you'd buried. Osei, who was never as blind as you assumed. You are transferred to Callisto, deeper, colder, further from the sun you haven't seen in 20 years. On the transport ship, for the first time in 2 decades, you have a window. You watch Mars shrink to a rust-colored point of light, the place you built an empire, the place that took everything while you were busy taking everything from it. Power in a closed system isn't growth, it's just rearranging the weight. Somewhere on sublevel 3, a new D number watches the conveyor belt, keeps his eyes down, starts mapping the invisible hierarchy. The cycle doesn't end. It doesn't need to. It just needs someone willing to start at the bottom. And someone foolish enough to think the top is somewhere else.